Yes, I had this desire. I want to change myself, probably as early as when I was a teenager. And I experienced many instances of not being able to change in spite of my desire. The reason I wanted to change was that I aimed at being perfect. I had high expectations and sought perfection, but my life was not as I intended. Because of that, I kept looking for a way that I could make real change, and I was getting myself involved in the spiritual field more and more. Yes, I became qualified to teach healing methods to practitioners, and I had 1,200 clients. I had a session room in Tokyo and conducted healing sessions. My clients improved after undergoing sessions with me. However, every single one of them had stumbled thereafter, and I felt frustrated as well as intrigued by this result. I did some research on it and found that the reason for stumbling is due to their thinking patterns, which remained the same. So I had to look for a way to transcend this thinking pattern. I had a client whose life wasn't going well, no matter how hard she tried. That client was improving, but then she stumbled and plunged into a deep depression. I knew there was nothing I could do for that client, and in desperation, I asked around to see if anybody knew a solution. Then another client told me, I know a person whose cousin was struggling, and when that person tried something called Miross, the cousin experienced an incredible transformation. Why don't you try that? That's when I encountered Miross. Well, I was successful as a practitioner, but my family situation was awful. My child was suffering from autonomic nerve imbalance, and I had a horrible relationship with my father and had not spoken to him for several years. The worst problem was that I was living apart from my husband. 7 years. Yes, 7 years. By practicing Miross, the hatred toward my father turned to a sense of gratitude, which I did not expect, and my relationship with my husband was improved. As we became able to communicate better, the more we talked, and so I invited him to Miross. He agreed without complaint. When I asked him the reason, he said that he had agreed because my daughter and I looked like we were having a lot of fun practicing Miross. When she attended a one-day course, her physical symptoms vanished instantly. She also became very proactive and expressed gratitude to me and my husband by saying, I'm very glad that I have this life. All these happened on that day she attended the course. Well, yes. Now I really enjoy every day with my husband and my daughter. We can discuss and share everything to a deeper extent than typical families. We work, improving each other by seeing through the patterns we created during the course of our lives. I believe typical families are normally incapable of this type of communication. It is totally different, as Miross has a system which represents the laws and principles of life. We can find the total integrity of our lives by understanding that system, and a total understanding of the system becomes the viewpoint. And from that viewpoint, we can see the events and experiences of our lives that enable us to see the reasons of our experiences without getting emotional. And with this understanding, we can completely solve every problem. By discovering Miross, I can see the overall picture of a person by listening to the life he or she has lived so far and can determine the reason for their experiences. The viewpoint of Miross is tremendous and truly amazing, and this viewpoint is the unshakable mind, which I had desperately sought in the past. Because of this, I know this is truly the answer. I was always interested in the evolution of consciousness, and now I know that the reason I always had this sense of yearning for the evolution of consciousness was because I was meant to encounter Miross. And because I was able to achieve it and know that my life purpose is to share this wisdom to the world, nothing can stop me from being a Miross instructor. I recently saw one of my Miross students after 3 months, and this person had truly changed. I feel so happy to witness this process. It is such a joy for me to see so many changes in my students. Every time I see changes in each person, I am sure that this is really my life work. And since this is the meaning of my life, I feel out of balance if I take a long break from teaching. What I convey in the seminars and classes I teach is that with the understanding of this system, anyone can accept and embrace the experience, no matter how bad it is, and can start to live a fulfilling life without anxiety, fear, or past influences. I speak about what it really means to accept from my heart, as it is really possible to live life to the fullest with this viewpoint. If you understand the Miross system, you can change your life for sure. And this system enables a complete transformation. You cannot find anything else in the world. I am one of the people who made that transformation by practicing Miross. I had sought the evolution of consciousness for many years and found there are many methodologies on this topic. And I am fully convinced that only Miross enables us to experience a complete transformation. I would like every one of you to experience this true transformation and become a human who lives in a new dimension and live truly as yourself. Please come to Miross Academy. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much.